Whoops, cut off my own intro there, but oh well, won't be the end of the world. HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Attila with some good throaty music in the background. We're going to jump into another battle. This one is actually going to be myself playing here as Axum with a Pictish ally against the Sassanids and the Alans. Could potentially be a very odd matchup. Let's see what all the players bring. Remember that these are just like multiplayer battles that I go and join, so I never know what I'm going to expect, whether it's going to be really good players, players that aren't so good, so on and so forth. So I brought some of these elite Tor warriors because they have counter cavalry tactics. I wanted to try that out. I've got 6 Afar swordsmen, 4 armored camel warriors, and I think just a couple of crappy camel lancers and a desert warlord. So I have a complete rush army, and I brought a rush army because I knew that my Pictish ally was going for a rush as well, because he's the Picts and they can deploy anywhere. So let's just check out what's happened here. The Picts player would show up there, or if they were just trying to move over to the side thinking the Pict player would deploy right in front of them and that they would get the jump on them by being on top of this hill, whether they were trying to hill camp. I have no idea what they were up to. But the Pict player deploys here, and let's take a look at what he's got facing all these Sassanids. There's a few elite Dolomite infantry, there's 4 of them, and then elite immortals. Elite immortals are just an ignorant choice, and I don't mean that in a mean way. When I say ignorant, I mean it in the true meaning of the word. I don't think this player knows that the elite immortals are terrible, and that they are good for nothing. Spears and Attila in general are just bad, and they have very few uses. Cavalry has such high health that bringing spears is pointless when you can just bring shock infantry that has a better charge, and they get far more kills on cavalry, and all infantry units die on the charge equally to cavalry. So there's really no point in bringing spears for the most part. So I brought 4 of them in this game and thought that was reckless, and then when I see this I'm like, wow, it's even more reckless. Back here for the Alan player though, this is what I was worried about, but Germanic Spearmaster is a very odd pick. Germanic Noble General, 2 Alani Spearmen, which are dog units, and then in the back we do see some elite Agathyrsi warriors, some Germanic Warband, kind of an odd pick, and a few Germanic Crossbowmen, and then oddly enough deploying his Cav, which is elite Agathyrsi cavalry, very weird pick. And there's 2 Gaian Avspar and a Spa bed over here too. Not really sure why they deployed all their cavalry over there like that. So now at this point, let me show you my army just real quick. I already showed you my army on the load-in screen. My goal now, obviously, if we go up here to this view, I have to rush in over here to support my Pictish ally as quickly as possible. He's got great position. He's got some round shield raiders over here too, 4 Pictish axemen up front, a black blade on either flank, deadly unit, a couple of Celtic spearmen, and he's got a crud load of Celtic crossbows, 5 of them, another black blade in the back, and then a followers of Morrigan. So he's got some pretty seriously dangerous infantry here if it gets a nice charge into all these spears. The Dolomite infantry won't do too well either. Interesting move here, he brings these gaze hounds and releases them immediately on the beginning of the battle. This will actually kind of slow down some infantry units and hurt them a little as they're reforming. So gonna be nice work here by the gaze hounds. I don't know if he intended them for this or what, but yeah, immediately a big battle starting on the hill. Look at this round shield raiders just plowing into all these Germanic Spearmasters. Probably not the right choice. Germanic Spearmaster, well, never mind, absolutely the right choice because this is Attila. They are heavy though, so they're getting a lot of impact damage, the round shield raiders. Both units, this one killing over 100 men already. This one slamming into more Agathyrses back here and getting 50 kills on elite Agathyrses. This one just getting around the back. Now in the back, the Pictish axes slamming home into the square formations of elite immortals. Very odd choice to have the elite immortals in square formation. I don't think that allows their expert charge defense to work, which would have been very handy against the Pictish axemen since they are low armor. That's about the only good thing elite immortals have going for them is expert charge defense. 2 elite Dolomites to hold the flank against the Celtic spearmen. But I got my camel lancers coming up here to try and cause problems. The Gaian Avspar and the 3 elite Agathyrsi and the Spa bed are trying to get back into the battle. These round shield raiders making their presence known by getting into these Germanic crossbowmen. All the Celtic crossbowmen though back here in a good position to start firing. The war dogs of the Alani apparently not getting to all the crossbowmen, even though there's a big gap here now. The onagers taken out of the fight immediately, probably by the war dogs. The crossbows firing up and over, down into these odd square formations. Camel Lancers now slamming into Elite Dalamites. Not going to cause a lot of damage, but it holds them in place. These Black Blades are going to come down the hill and absolutely beat the crud out of these Dalamites, though they are under heavy friendly fire and some enemy fire from these Dalamites charging down the hill. So those Black Blades actually might be in a bit of trouble. This is the huge unit sizes, so you're going to see a bit of lag. My AFAR Raid Masters now getting close to the fight where they can support. These guys are going to be terrible versus Cav, especially this Gian Avspar. But I have enough men, and the picked player has caused such damage so quickly that it's been a very good start. Black Blades now coming into combat over on this flank. They should do very well, except for against the Elite Agathyrsi. My AFAR Raid Masters here are going to get hit even through a unit of friendlies. They're going to take a ton of damage to that Gian Avspar. But they do have very high attack, so these guys are going to get in here, and they are going to cause quite a bit of hit point damage and just damage in general. They don't have much armor, but they make up for it in attack. Here comes a spa bed. This spa bed is going to wreck my AFAR Raid Masters, and here comes some Gian Avspar to follow it up. They are going to destroy my camels and AFAR Raid Masters, but this is just the opportunity that I need to get more AFAR Raid Masters in, and we're going to start to chip away at the Gian Avspar and keep them from escaping. So up here on the hill, though, the picked player is doing very well. His axes are getting nice kills. The Elite Immortals are falling, except for here where they outnumber the axes 2 to 1. His Round Shield Raiders, 235 kills on that one. Only 62 there, 133 on that one. So not bad for a couple of his round shields. And now my armored camel warriors have access to the back lines, and I am going to make full use of that. The Gian Avspar are trapped by camel lancers and infantry, and my AFAR Raid Masters are making their presence felt. It is uphill, but my armored camels are going to be quite good here. The Elite Agathyrsi Cav is going to do terribly versus the armored camel lancers, or armored camel warriors. Sorry, I got a nice rear charge here into the enemy general, killed him, and did a lot of damage to both those units. That's going to cause a lot more units to rout because the general of the Alani player is now gone, or the Alan player, yeah, Alani player. The Gian Avspar definitely got some kills, but not great ones yet, and they're having to flee in the face of a cheap Camel Lancer, which is going to get kills. So definitely not the best situation. These armored Camel Warriors should be able to pin them down here too. They're charging, they're not, oh yeah, this unit kind of gets a charge here though. Those are some crazy good Lancers. I got another armored Camel Warrior through the lines here. You're seeing a lot of frame lag just because this is Attila. But yeah, here comes more of my armored Camel Lancers. Gonna get charges in here. Can't wait to have those the better unit collisions that I was seeing in Total War Warhammer. Really hope that gets carried over into the next historical title as well. It's a very welcome change. Not terrible in Rome 2 and Attila, but definitely not good. Would be a lot better, yeah. So up here you've got Pictish Axemen. You can see hunting down some of these poor Alani enemies. I don't know if we have Black Blades over here or not. Yeah, there's Morrigan's followers there. You can see them. The guys with that cool square-looking shield. Here's some Black Blades. Guys with the hoods on, looking like the character from Assassin's Creed. Am I the only one who thinks that's funny too, though? I don't even know what the character's name is from Assassin's Creed because I don't like Assassin's Creed. I don't play it, but I always think it's funny that he's always wearing like that same outfit and the hood, and it's like, if you're an assassin, and I don't know, in the game, is he like trying to be secretive or stealthy? Because if you're always wearing that like very ominous hood, is that not kind of like a giveaway? It's like, do-do-do-do-do, nice day in town, hope there's no assassins around except for that weird guy jumping from rooftop to rooftop with the hood on. I don't know, I'm giving it a hard time. If you like Assassin's Creed, don't take it personally. But anyway, it is kind of weird, just asking. But hey, it's a video game. We haven't really come to expect realism from video games. The Morrigan's followers just plowing into this blob. They're going berserk. And I've got AFAR Raid Masters in there too. Look at the giant swords on those Morrigan's followers. Definitely a cool looking weapon. All they're doing though is screaming. Probably because the enemy is just routing up in the middle of this giant like melee blob, which is definitely some type of odd killing mess here. AFAR Raid Masters, everything all mixed into one, killing the poor routing Gian Avspar cavalry there. The only units holding up, believe it or not, is still these Elite Immortals. So I guess if nothing else, they get decent morale when they're in the square. Had some armored Camel Warriors charge in though and help break them. So very fun match there. That was very different for me. I thought it was hilarious that our enemies deployed right into where my teammate was, creating a very funny circumstance in my mind, like just being able to have that mess right from the beginning that really favored the Pictish player. So he did a great job here, got a lot of kills. This Black Blade here cleaned house. His Morrigan's followers, almost no losses, 162 kills. Very impressive kills here on this Round Shield Raider. Some of these others got some quality kills too, slamming into some expensive units. Some of the Pictish Axemen also doing very well. Not a ton of kills on the crossbow, but probably more friendly fire than anything. But 80 kills on a Celtic Spearman. I don't know how he pulled that one off. Some of these Elite Immortals, this one held out pretty well. Don't know how they got all those kills, but I mean the rest of them, as you can see, just got straight crapped on. One of the Elite Dylamites doing okay, and the Cavalry, although they got a number of kills, was probably on AFAR Raid Masters, and they'd have to straight kill 2 AFAR Raid Masters to pay for any of those units there. Here's my kills up here. The Elite Tor Warriors really not getting to participate in time. I did lose a few Raid Masters, but others, getting in and making their presence known. But a lot of my kills coming from my Cavalry because they were the only things that could get to the fight before it was mostly over, because the Pictish player did such a good job here. If we look at the Alani player, Elite Agathyrsi Cav doing nothing, the Alani Spearman doing almost nothing, the Onager was wasted from the beginning. The Alani player really just got, and I'm not saying it to be mean, but he just deployed in the wrong spot and ended up getting pooped on by both players. So it was an unfortunate circumstance for him. Do appreciate my teammate and our opponents for giving us a fun game. I haven't gotten a ton of great matches on Attila, so it's been kind of nice to have a few fun matches on Attila. I don't know how long it'll last, though, once the newness wears off of this. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.